bonjour, bonjour, salut, 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 hi, hi, hi. I hope that you are doing well. J'espère que tu, tu vas bien et tu vas bien pour toi. So, today I thought that it would be fun to do something. Obviously, it's always a little bit different, but it's kind of, sticking to the same thing that I like to do. But still a little bit different. I thought about words that, like, what's something that I usually do? I usually do something in French and translate it to English, etc. But I was like, what's something that I can really incorporate both, right? So I thought, well, English is pretty much an amalgam of a bunch of different languages. Like we borrow so much from other languages, kind of like French sometimes as well, but we do it a lot more than other languages. And so a lot of French people might not know this, but there are a lot of words that we borrow from French and we use them in English. And so I thought that it would be cool to do a video where it's not so much this is that, but it's more of a voici les mots qu'on utilise pour les mêmes choses en anglais ainsi qu'en français et comment on prononce ces mots peut-être en français et en anglais puisqu'on utilise des mots en anglais mais on les rend comme en anglais. C'est un anglicisme aussi, peut-être, mais oui. On va faire cela aujourd'hui. Je vais présenter les mots qu'on utilise en anglais et c'est les mêmes mots en français et c'est les mêmes contextes et des choses comme ça. On utilise les mêmes mots dans la même façon. Oui. Donc, yeah. Let's go ahead and learn what these are. And I hope that you like the audio maybe a little bit better in this video because I'm using a new like windscreen, like it's like it looks like one of the like really like furry things. So like if you like hear it right now, I'm trying to minimize a lot of the background noise that I have. I'm fortunate enough to not have like any neighbors like hitting the walls and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm still trying to improve that. So just un petit truc, just a little thing. So yeah, let's look at these, I believe 19 words. I lied. It is 15 words, not 19, not 19. 15. Guys. I have 15 mots. Je suis 15 mots. Donc, on va commencer avec déjà vu. Déjà vu. En anglais, on dit déjà vu. C'est un peu bizarre de prononcer un mot en français comme je parle pas français. Mais oui, déjà vu. Like, dans une phrase, on dit like, I have totally had this thought before. This is definitely déjà vu. I don't know what happens next, but I think it's good. Like for me, that's like always what déjà vu is. It's always like a very odd feeling that I've been somewhere before, but I have never been there. I should have no recollection of that. But why? Why is it a thing? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. No idea. Et en français, c'est la même chose, mais c'est pas... en anglais, c'est un peu like comment dire ça? Existentialism, existentialisme, je crois. Mais oui, en français, it's much more simple. In French, it's literally, I have just seen this. Like, like you could be like talking about like something on TV. Uh, like, oh, j'ai déjà vu ça. J'ai regardé ces films la semaine dernière. Quelque chose comme ça. Mais en anglais, it's like, oh my god, my soul's been here before, but I haven't. So it's really like dramatic sometimes, depending on who is talking about it. The next word, the next word, the next word is mirage. 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 Mirage, en anglais, c'est une envie. Quelque chose qu'on désire. D'accord? So in English, we think of it as like it's something to be desired. We want this, the object of our wanting, so to speak. Or it can also mean an illusion. It can mean, like it's a mirage, it's not there, but it's something you would have wanted to have been there, right? So in French, it's like it can mean to like literally like think about something, but to also like mirror, to think it's like pretty. I think so. Like, let's see, like it can also mean to mirror or admire in French, hence why English speakers use mirage to define a visual wish or desire. So, like what I just said, and this is something that I think it could almost be what you would call in French faux ami, but ça dépend toujours de la contexte, du contexte, je sais pas. Et oui, ça c'est pourquoi c'est tellement important de comprendre toute la conversation, sinon you're gonna miss something. And it can be a little bit confusing, especially for words like this, where it could mean the same thing, but depending on what you're talking about, maybe not. I don't know. It will just depend. Next, 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 next. C'est façade. 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 In English. En anglais, ça peut dire que quelqu'un n'est pas exactement. C'est pas quelqu'un vrai. C'est quelqu'un qui est un peu fausse. Quelqu'un faux. C'est quelqu'un qui peut-être cette personne ment assez souvent. Ment de l'argent, de leur statut dans la vie, de leurs relations. Mais parfois, c'est toujours des gens qui veulent apparaître plus classe, plus luxe que les autres. Et c'est, comment dire, like Anna Delvey, par exemple. Tellement bizarre. Mais oui. So yes, in English, to have a facade is to be like fake, a little bit like snobby, but also it's like, people who are trying to elevate their status in life, whether it be through money or relations with people, what have you. Mais aussi en français, c'est vraiment différent, à mon avis. In French, it can be really different. Facade is literally like the front of a building. En face, it's like I'm in front of like you, wherever we are. Je suis en face. Ça me rappelle d'une phrase en anglais. En anglais, on dit like someone's putting on a front. Et the put on a front, like you're fronting. So they like cette personne comporte pas sincèrement. C'est pas quelqu'un qui n'est pas honnête. Un autre mot en français que on utilise en anglais pas assez souvent, mais peut-être ça dépend de ta vie. et aussi que tes loisirs aussi et des choses comme ça. Mais c'est potpourri. Potpourri, je crois en français. C'est la même chose. C'est un sachet de choses qui sont bonnes. Mais oui, um, c'est the word potpourri in French. If you translate it literally in French or to English, it's like rotten pot. Like potpourri is like a pot of like rotten food or like things if you were to literally translate it. But potpourri is also the same thing, like a little satchel or pouch of things that smell good. You know, like des herbes et des fleurs séchées, like dried herbs and flowers, things like that, things that would smell good. And they use them in the same way. Next. As I'm sure that many of you know, I love food. J'adore la nourriture. J'aime bien manger. Donc, l'autre mot, hors d'oeuvre. Hors d'oeuvres. Hors d'oeuvre. Hors d'oeuvres. Other. Hors d'oeuvres. C'est le même mot en français qu'en anglais. C'est un petit truc, un petit repas ou un petit plat avant que le plat principal. It's a small course before the main course. In French, the literal translation is out of work, and it doesn't mean that it's, lazy, anything of that, or cause to fire somebody. It is, it means like to go before the work. And whenever you think of a kitchen and things like that, you think of the chef. And the chef is like an artist. En français, oui. Le chef est aussi le patron. Et c'est un artiste, oui. Donc, so yeah. And so the French word for chef is also, it can be like a word for boss, depending on who you are. And so I think that it's important to understand that there's kind of like layers to it. The chef is more, it's more like respectable, like line of work and things like that, because food obviously matters to French people. That is a stereotype that I do think is true, and it's a good stereotype because la nourriture française, c'est très très bien. Et oui, donc you will find out in due time if you ever go or you have the opportunity to eat somewhere with French people or have a French person cook for you for real. Take that chance. So yeah. But anyways, back to the word. Yeah, so it means that this is the this is the course that's going to come out before the main course. And so it's kind of like letting people know, like, hey, prepare yourselves for the next one, because the next one's going to be like the main thing, more food, or this is what you're going to be looking forward to. And so yes, that's what I would say about that. Like that's like kind of how I take it. And so it's like, although it was like out of work, but also it means kind of like before the big like masterpiece kind of. Because then oeuvre is also like a work of art. So it's really saying like this food is art. And so the chef is an artist, if that helps kind of bridge that gap of my odd over explanation. So yeah, c'est ça. So the next word, I really like it because I don't think that a lot of English speakers know what this really means in French. Cul-de-sac. Cul-de-sac. It literally means the butt of the bag. Anyway, c'est un mot assez rigolo à mon avis. Ouais. J'ai 13 ans. Ouais. Also, for cul-de-sac, it in French, it's not so much as like a street style, but it's more of like a dead end. Because it's kind of in French, it's not so much of like the butt of a bag, but it's more of like the bottom of the bag. Like on arrive dans ce cul-de-sac, it's like, oh man, we're at a dead end. But it's like not a word that you'd use with like your boss. Wouldn't use that with your boss. Wouldn't use it with your in-laws unless you're super, super, super close. I would use like impassé. Impassé, c'est vraiment plus poli, à mon avis, que cul-de-sac. Puisque, oui, bien sûr, le français aime le mot cool. The French love using the word but in so many things. I think it's so fucking cute. I think it's adorable. But yeah. So that's one little thing about that is it's not going to be exactly the same thing, and that is going to take me to the next word because the next word's similar in that sense. En anglais, on utilise pas le mot matinée de la même façon. Matinée en anglais, ça veut dire une... Comment on dit ça? Matinée, c'est une... c'est quand on va au cinéma au matin ou peut-être avant l'après-midi, avant, avant le soir, la soirée. Oui, matinée, c'est like... Je crois que c'est like avant 14 heures. Peut-être, je sais pas exactement, j'ai jamais travaillé au cinéma, donc je connais pas exactement. I've never worked in a movie, so I have no idea whenever matinee times stop and start. But in French, matinee is, or matinée, c'est pas matinée, matinée, in French, that would be in the morning. So yeah, it's whenever you go au matinée. On va au cinéma au matinée. And one thing to keep in mind about matinée in French is that matinée, if you're ever in France, it does not refer to showings in the morning. Matinée, if you're in France, it's going to refer literally to the first showing of the day. So, la matinée serait peut-être après-midi. Et c'est quelque chose de bizarre pour les anglophones. Puis, puisque matinée, ça veut dire tout le temps. Tu peux voir un film si se passe au matin. Donc, c'est un peu différent. And yeah, it is different. So that is one thing to keep in mind is the matinee in France. First showing, c'est la seule. Seule matinée, c'est ça. C'est fini. Also, like if you're ever clothes shopping or it's like a really old school word from my understanding. Matinée is also like a woman's robe. Like, think like, I guess it's like kind of like a silk kimono maybe, or like a very like light robe. Like think something, like you would like maybe wear to breakfast that you're trying to cover up, or somebody's trying to cover up that's dressed in like a nightgown. Something like that, I think. So yeah. So, and also, une expression française, c'est faire la grasse matinée. That means to sleep in all morning. Make a fat morning. Une grasse matinée. Grasse is like, I think it's like grasse is like the fatty bit on a piece of meat, I think. So yeah. So, a word in English that we use that's not like the same word in French is encore. Encore. Like encore, encore, encore. On fait pas ça, je crois, en France. I don't think that they do that in French. On fait pas ça en français, je crois. Peut-être, mais franchement, je crois que j'ai. I haven't gone to a lot of shows with like French performers, so I wouldn't know exactly. But encore is like déjà vu. In a way, you're going to hear it a lot in common spoken French. Encore just means like already, yet, even. It can depend and it can change. Like if you were if you're if you wanted to say that there's still like something there, like I guess like if you're eating something and you're like, um, il y a encore du riz là-bas. Like there's still rice there. Like go make yourself a plate. Il y a encore de la nourriture. Vas-y, mange. Like, go eat. You're hungry. Go have some. You can also say, let's see, what is this? Like, if you want to say, like, some things, like, even better, encore mieux, even, mais also, like, faites attention, because it's, like, even in, you wouldn't say, like, it wouldn't, like, take the place of, like, oh, like, it wouldn't say, like, the same. Like, you wouldn't say, like, we're even. Like it'd be like également, like equally. And so there's a lot of like different ways to say things, and so that's one thing to keep in mind is you can't always do like a direct translation from one language to the other, especially in French. Let me tell you. So yeah, like if you want to say like, do you want more of something? You wouldn't say I guess you could say like en veux-tu plus, but it's like, I don't know, it sounds weird. Like you could even say, like if it's something that's established and you've like been doing it, you could say like en veux-tu encore, because it's easier to say en veux-tu encore que en veux-tu plus, en veux-tu encore, en veux-tu plus. I don't know, peut-être, mais à mon avis, peut-être encore c'est mieux. Because it's see, toujours le contexte. It always depends on the context of how you want to use it, because if you already have an established thing, it's just, so it is. And for like a literal translation, it just means like again, or another. Okay, great. So we have one that will be the same, the same, the same, the same, the same. So, ça c'est RSVP. RSVP. In French, what does that mean? Répondez s'il vous plaît. Répondez s'il vous plaît. S'il vous plaît. Répondez s'il vous plaît. So, in English, we also say respond if it pleases you. Respond if you please. However, yeah, it's not going to have the acronyms because it's not RSVP, ça va plutôt marcher, ça va pas marcher en anglais puisqu'on RSVP, respond if it pleases you. Yeah, au moins quelques lettres, non? Oui, donc c'est une autre chose dont les anglophones ont volé. Okay. So, this next one is the same, but not entirely. Souvenir. 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 So, souvenir, oui, c'est quelque chose assez petit, peut-être pas. Mais souvenir, c'est la même chose en anglais. Mais aussi que souvenir, en anglais, peut-être ça veut dire memory. En français, I mean, in French, souvenir can be, typically a small gift or a small memorabilia to commemorate a trip or to bring back for somebody who wasn't able to visit somewhere with you. But in French, this can also mean a memory. So it can be not only something that you can have and hold. C'est un souvenir, oui, c'est aussi quelque chose de tangible. On peut l'avoir en main, mais c'est aussi une memory. C'est quelque chose dont on garde dans la tête et quelque chose dont on se rappelle peut-être ou on se souvient. Je me souviens. That means I remember in French. Je me souviens. Si tu vas au Canada, au Québec, les provinces du Québec, et il y a des plats. Plats en voiture, je crois que, like the license plate. J'ai une seconde. Regarde. J'ai cela juste par chance. Par hasard. J'ai ça. Mais oui, en français, je me souviens. This means I remember. Puisqu'au Québec, I remember la difficulté de garder la langue française. Je me souviens le temps dont les Anglais ont été... les Anglais ont essayé de voler la langue française du québécois et des choses comme ça. Le grand déménagement, peut-être, si tu connais ça. Oui, c'est quelque chose vraiment... Comment on dit? Il y a des choses assez violentes s'est passé dans les années 60 et c'est des francophones militantes, vraiment. C'est des francophones militantes qui voulaient le droit de parler français et vivre comme des francophones. Francophones québécois d'Amérique du Nord. C'est pas des francophones de la France, non. Puisque les gens viennent du Québec. C'est la Nouvelle-France, oui, mais c'est pas la France. En Europe, c'est pas la même chose. Donc ça, c'est pourquoi c'est vraiment important de s'en souvenir. Pourquoi? C'est important de garder la langue française au Canada. Et toujours apprendre la langue. Si tu veux apprendre français, il y a vraiment beaucoup de façons d'apprendre cette langue au Canada. Peut-être qu'il n'y a pas toujours des gens qui parlent français partout au Canada. Bien sûr, il y a beaucoup de pays complètement anglophones, mais au Québec, tu as le droit de parler français si tu veux. Donc, c'est vraiment quelque chose d'important. Avant-garde. Avant-garde, c'est quoi ça en anglais? En anglais, avant-garde, c'est quelque chose assez visionnaire. It's like cutting edge. C'est tout nouveau. Personne pensait de ça. C'est la première fois. Oui, avant-garde. Et c'est pas du tout la même chose en français. En français, c'est quoi, like the front line? Oui, it's the first people who show up for something. So it's like your A team, if you were to kind of translate it. But I think that the direct translation means like frontline or vanguard. So it's kind of the same thing in French, but in English it has, or in English and other languages that have appropriated avant-garde, it's like an advanced, like you're on the front line, nobody else is in your lane, you've created your own vision, etc., etc. So another word in French that I think that we use it in more of like a cheeky way in English is toucher. Touche, like gotcha. Like in French, it's not really like smartassy or smart alecky, I think, as it comes across. Like it's not like I got you, like I've outwitted you, I've outsmarted you, like touche. No. It comes from, I think, fencing. Whenever somebody's touched you, touché, ça veut dire touched. Toucher means to touch somebody in French. Like touche, touche, j'ai touché, I touched, 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 touched this. So it's a little bit different. But yeah, and it's like its everyday meaning in French. It's like touching something, like if you're not like if you're like arguing with your brother and sister, you'd be like, I'm not touching you. Je t'ai pas touché, je t'ai pas touché, je t'ai pas touché. Like it's like je t'ai pas touché, je t'ai pas touché. Don't go tell mom and dad. I'm not touching you. I'm barely touching you. It's like that. It's not like how we use it at all in English. So yeah, it's just simply to touch. So another word that I think is so funny that in English how we use it, because it doesn't hold the same connotation in French, and that's risqué. Risqué. Risqué en anglais, c'est like c'est quelque chose like, oh, c'est un peu tabou. Ça, c'est risqué. Like, oh, ton costume, ton outfit, ça, c'est un peu risqué, non? Like, si quelqu'un ne porte pas beaucoup de vêtements, ça, c'est un vêtement risqué. Like, that's a very risky outfit. Scandalous. So, and it's not the same in French. Risqué, it just means risky. It's just risky. Il y a un risque de tornades. Il y a un risque... il y a un risque d'avalanche. Il y a un risque... quelque chose mauvais. Je sais pas. Il y a un risque de pluie. Il y a un risque de... Comment... Je sais pas. Mais risk, it just means there's a chance, it's a risk of something happening. Risk is just there's a chance of something bad happening. Just like how I would say in English, because risky doesn't always have to mean like, oh, ça c'est tabou. Risky, risqué aussi en anglais. Risky, ça peut dire like, oh, la chance n'est pas bon. Risky, c'est la même chose en anglais, mais parfois ça dépend toujours de la contexte, comme je dis. Oui. 9 fois sur 10, si quelqu'un décrit une autre personne comme risquée, ça veut dire que peut-être l'autre personne est un peu conservative, pas progressive. Tu comprends? Puisqu'à mon avis, les gens dont je connais aux États-Unis, on fait pas beaucoup d'attention à cela. On s'en fout des vêtements ou la façon dont quelqu'un d'autre comporte, puisque si ça ne me rend pas à l'aise, ça me va. Ça... Parfois, j'imagine que je ne vais pas de tout remarquer à l'autre personne. C'est ça. So another word that we use, but this one, it's exactly the same, Fiancé, 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 fiancé. Someone of which you're going to get married to. C'est quelqu'un que tu vas te marier. Oui. Donc, c'est la même chose. Il y aura un mariage. La dernière phrase, mot, je sais pas exactement comment dire ça, mais c'est coup de grâce. Coup de grâce. Coup de grâce. Coup de grâce. And this is the final blow. Last stroke. And it can mean the same thing in French. It can mean to like literally the last paint. When you're painting, that could be that. Or it could seen as like la dernière chose qui va en situation. Peut-être mauvaise ou plus mauvaise que plus tôt. Donc oui, c'est quelque chose comme ça. Et oui, coup de grâce, it's literally just like a figure of speech, or like it's you when coup de grâce is like usually like also in French, it's like this is like the final thing, like the straw that broke the camel's back. C'est tout. Les 15 mots, phrases, si tu veux, qu'on utilise en anglais ainsi qu'en français. J'espère que tu as aimé cette vidéo. Sinon, j'espère que tu as appris quelque chose de nouvel. I hope that you like this video. And if not, I hope that you at least learned something. My next video, I think that I want to do something in French we call faux ami. It's a false friend. It can sound like something in English or something in French, but it's not going to be what you think it is, most likely. And that's kind of like what this list is, because this list is a list of words that we do use in English, but there are words in French that are going to sound very, very, very similar to words that we use in English, but they are not. They are not going to mean the same things. So we call them faux amis. Faux ami, that means a false friend, a fake friend. So I think that this is a great introduction to that, and I'm really excited to make that video for you. And I hope that I see you in the next one. J'espère que tu vas regarder la prochaine vidéo. Et à bientôt. See you later. À bientôt.